So this tutorial is going to guide you through animating more than one object at a time in Flash. At the moment, all the animation you've been doing has been on this layer 1, where you've had your text moving in and off the stage. A good habit to get into is just to name each layer as you go along. So I'm going to call this first layer my text layer. Okay. And if I'm going to animate a new object, well, the rule of thumb is to have one object animated on each layer. So if I click that new layer option, I can add in layer 2, and I'm just going to rename this one to image. So this is where I'm going to animate my images that are also going to come on and come off the screen. Okay. The first thing I need to do is go and fetch an image. So to fetch an image, I've downloaded one from Google. I need to go to import it. So import to the stage. Okay, desktop, down there, and there we go. I've got a hazard sign for my hazard for my first one. Okay, so that image has been input onto my presentation. I want to resize it, so remember to resize I need to use the transform tool over here. So if I select that, I can resize and do that. Okay, now this time I'm going to show you motion tween in a slightly different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it start right small. Okay, and it's going to grow to fill the screen. So on frame 1 that we're working on at the minute, the image is small. If I put it by frame 25, I want it to have enlarged. So to do it, same as text in a way here. So first thing I need to do is convert that into a symbol, because I'm going to animate it. So I'm going to press OK. Then same theme again. I'm going to go up to frame 25. Well, by frame 25. I'm going to insert a keyframe, and remember that just makes a copy of what was on the last keyframe, so nothing's changed. On frame 25, what I'm going to do is resize the image. So I've got frame 25 selected, resize the image to the size that I want it to be, which is about that size there. Okay, and then I'm going to use a motion tween again, just in exactly the same way that we have done in the past with the text, to link the two together and fill in those missing frames. So if I go back to the last keyframe, create a classic motion tween. Okay, if I grab the spindle now down here, you can see that Flash has put in those missing frames for me. So I have an enlarged piece of text coming off. If I wanted to, I could move that across there. So if I go back to my frame 1, if I wanted to, I could move that and have that over there, and it would fade on from the side. Okay, so you can see the power of a classic motion tween. It matches up whatever the start point is between your object and the finish point. It'll kind of match that up. Okay, and put the missing frames in between. So I want it to stay on the screen there. So stop on at the same time that the text stops on. So I just need to insert a keyframe to make a copy of what was on the last keyframe. So that image just stays static. Then obviously I want the image to leave the screen, so in exactly the same way I was doing with text, I'm going to go across to frame 75, I'm going to insert a new keyframe. Well, on frame 75 the image wants to have moved off the screen, so I'm going to send it over there. To link the two keyframes together, I need to create a classic motion tween again. Okay, and if we have a look now, so it enlarges, it comes onto the screen, stays on for a period of time, and then they separate. Just one final thing you can make a note of here. If I click on that motion tween, at the start of that motion tween on that frame, you notice over here I get the option to rotate, clockwise, counterclockwise. If I put clockwise on there, that's the number of times, so once. Just watch what happens. You can see my image will rotate and leave the screen. Okay. So that's animating more than one object. If I want to start my next image, same as I did with the text, across here, insert blank keyframe, and go and get my new image and start the process again. Okay. Hopefully you can see the pattern. See if you can get the rest of this animation working with images to represent each stage of a risk assessment. Just one final thing. What I'll do, I probably should have just done this near the start, is actually lock the text layer. That basically means that I can't accidentally alter the layer that I've already completed whilst I'm working on the images layer. And that's something for you to be aware of as well. So the lock button there stops me from being able to edit anything to do with the text. Okay, and that's the end of the video.